recognize that many of us are hurting right now. I recognize that many of us are scared right now. And so I want to be very clear about where everything stands.
Thanks for being with us on Fox 43 for extended breaking news coverage of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. Hello, I'm Sean Stryker.
And I'm Jackie DeTore. We are currently awaiting a news conference from President Biden and the NTSB on the bridge that collapsed early this morning after being hit by that cargo ship. That's expected to happen a little later this afternoon.
Now, this is being called a mass casualty event, a massive search and rescue effort currently underway with crews on the water, and in the air.
And we know at this point, 2 people have been rescued. 6 people remain missing at this point. All 8 of those are believed to have been part of a construction crew that was on the bridge at the time of the collapse, filling potholes. And we have live team coverage this afternoon in Baltimore with Fox 43's Alyssa Kratz and Tyler Hatfield.
Now we want to start with Alyssa Kratz live at the media staging area on Authority Drive. Alyssa.
Good morning, Sean and Jackie. Yes, we're in Dundalk, across from where the bridge is, and again, awaiting that press conference from the National Transportation Safety Board. It was supposed to be at noon. We know now that it has been pushed back to at least 1 o'clock this afternoon. And again, search and rescue mission continues here. They are continuing to look for those 6 people that remain unaccounted for after this bridge collapse, which happened early this morning. Again, they were construction workers. They were working on the bridge on pothole repairs. At this point, we don't know if there are any more people that they are looking for. The governor had said in an earlier news conference this morning that when the ship lost power, it reported losing power, and then basically gave a mayday call saying that there was some sort of problem. Authorities say that that mayday call allowed them to stop traffic from going onto the bridge, and thankfully, hopefully, probably saved a lot more lives. Now, we also know that the ship was last inspected in September of 2023 in New York, and at that time, no deficiencies were reported. That's according to the Associated Press. Still a lot more questions that need to be asked, of course. The company that owns and manages the ship said that all crew members, including the 2 pilots on board, were also accounted for, and there were no reports of any injuries. So again, we're going to continue to bring you guys the latest as we await more information from the governor, from the National Transportation Safety Board, and other authorities that are continuing to investigate the bridge collapse. For now, reporting live in Dundalk, Alyssa Kratz, Fox 43 News.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. And like you said, we are awaiting that news conference from the NTSB, and President Biden is also expected to speak as well. We are expecting that both of those to happen at about 1 o'clock. But we also have Fox 43's Tyler Hatfield. He is in Baltimore right now as well.
Yeah, he has the latest details on the rescue efforts from the other side of the bridge. Tyler, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Sean, Jackie, we moved just a little bit south to Riviera Beach to give you a better look of what this collapse looks like. And it's been such a horrific day here in Baltimore, and this image just doesn't get any easier. I just want you to take a look, pardon the zoom. Right now you're looking north toward the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and you can see that the bridge is on top of that huge cargo ship. It's about 1,000 feet long. You can see the mangled mess there, the mangled metal all around that ship on the water, and you can see some rescue boats as well kind of circling around in that area. Now again, just like Alyssa said, and just like you and Jackie and Sean said, they're still looking for 6 people at this time. There was a total of 8 of these construction workers. Now they pulled 2 out of the water, one being in critical condition, the other did not need any treatment. But again, this is going to be an expansive rescue and search effort. There's many counties participating in this search and rescue. There's Hartford County, there's Anne Arundel, St. George's. We saw earlier a whole bunch of rescue personnel coming through with boats and rafts to really get this thing under control. Now, we spoke to Fire Chief James Wallace. He is the fire chief for Baltimore City, and he told us that this is going to be a very hard effort as well. Take a listen.
This is a tricky operation to put divers in the water in this condition. It's a very large area that we're going to be searching, and just keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well. We're going to continue this operation as long as it takes. They're putting their training to work. We're going to work our hardest, and we're going to do our damnedest to find these people. That's our goal.
And they are working hard. You can see, again, this is just a really hard image to look at right now. You can see, again, that mangled metal all over the boat. You can just see the collapse there. And it's just, again, a horrific day here in Baltimore. Now, a lot of people are asking about the traffic on 695. They're also talking about the rebuilding process. But when I talked to Chief Wallace, he said the main thing on their mind is to get these people out of the water. The other things can take a seat at the moment. So we'll have more coverage on air and online at fox43.com. But for now, in Baltimore, I'm Tyler Hatfield, Fox 43 News.
All right, Tyler, thank you so much there. And there have been, responses pouring in from all over the country at this point, including our governor. Josh Shapiro's office did release a statement.
I know, it says, in quote, Governor Shapiro has been in communication with Governor Moore this morning to offer Pennsylvania support and let him know the Shapiro administration stands ready to deliver any assistance necessary as rescue efforts continue after this tragic incident at Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, end quote. Obviously, as those search and rescue efforts continue, the crews out there battling the elements. It happened at 1:30 in this morning, so the dark was an issue to start. The sun came up, and now they're dealing with cold water and tides.
Yeah, and the tides are pulling out into the Chesapeake Bay right now as we approach low tide, which will occur in a couple minutes, or a couple hours, I should say, excuse me. Here's a look at some of that data from Fort McHenry, which is closer to the inner harbor, but gives you a picture of what we're looking at here. High tide was earlier on this morning, close to about 8:15, 8:20 or so. And then as we went into the afternoon and over the past couple of hours, of course, that tide pulling out towards the Chesapeake Bay. Low tide will be right after 3 o'clock this afternoon before waters start to rise again. So that's one aspect for the search and rescue we're keeping an eye on. The other aspect when it comes to search and rescue, it's going to be these really chilly water temperatures. We're getting data from this area where temperatures are reporting in the 40s. So very cold conditions for these divers who are out in the water. So something we're going to continue to keep an eye on. Good news is outside of the cold water, the weather really not inclement, and it's not hurting any of these search and rescue efforts. We've got cloudy skies across the area. Winds are quiet. Things are looking pretty good. Here in south central Pennsylvania, similar story. Cloudy skies, but all is quiet. Out to the west in Pittsburgh, you'll notice some rain starting to push into the western parts of the state. That shower activity breaks up for the most part, so we don't get any rainfall during the daytime. So we've got a nice stretch of dry time to go through. Temperatures right now, it's 51 in Baltimore. It's 48 in Harrisburg, so we are warming already throughout the day. Winds are quiet as well. These breezes are coming out of the east-southeast, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. So nothing too high that would cause issues when it comes to, again, any of these search and rescue efforts. As we go into the afternoon, we'll continue to see these temperatures climb. They'll be up into the low and mid 50s through the peak heating of the day. Skies stay cloudy all day long, and we eventually do track some shower chances headed our way. So let's time that out for you. Any of this rainfall will reach us after sunset. So 8, 9 o'clock or so, we start to see an isolated light shower or two moving through the area. A better chance for some wet weather, well, that arrives tomorrow. Here's 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see D.C., Baltimore getting some rainfall, south central Pennsylvania getting in on some of that rainfall as well, and that continues on and off through Wednesday. It should be light in nature. We're not talking about a washout of a day, but again, you'll probably need the umbrella, especially if you're traveling here at home or locally. Rainfall totals in south central Pennsylvania, not impressive, near 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. Could be closer to a 1/2 inch the farther south you go towards Baltimore or D.C. Looking at your extended forecast here at home, temperatures are on either side of 55 the next couple of days. Couple showers Wednesday into your Thursday. And then we turn breezy as we go on into the holiday weekend. Temperatures climb up into the upper 50s, 57 for Saturday, 58 for Easter Sunday. Another chance for rain heads our way through early next week.
And as we continue to follow the search and rescue efforts in Baltimore, we're looking back into the history of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Fox 43's Gabrielle Mediak has more on the major connecting point to the Charm City.
Maryland Transportation Authority says the bridge opened March 23rd of 1977, meaning it officially marked 47 years in service just a couple of days ago. The 1.6-mile Key Bridge crosses over the Patapsco River and it's outermost of 3 toll crossings of Baltimore's harbor. It's named in honor of the author of the Star-Spangled Banner, Francis Scott Key, and when the bridge was completed, it became the final links in the I-695. The bridge bridge cost an estimated $110 million to build and was the best alternative to a tunnel at the time because it allowed for more traffic lanes and carried lower operating and maintenance costs. The bridge also allowed for a route across the Baltimore Harbor for vehicles transporting hazardous material. Gabrielle Mediak, Fox 43 News.
So while obviously the search and rescue efforts are the biggest thing we're focusing on right now, traffic is still an issue because this is a major, we're talking 30,000+ vehicles a day are driving over this bridge.
And so we want to show you exactly where the Francis Scott Key Bridge is. Right now, down here, you can see this red. That is where the Key Bridge was standing. The loop, as it's known down there, the Beltway, is a circle that goes around Baltimore. Obviously, Pennsylvania is up 83. So if you're traveling down this way, the red right here, that is the Francis Scott Key Bridge. That is where it collapsed. If we're trying to find a positive, at least in terms of traffic, there are two other ways to get across the Patapsco River. Both of those are tunnels. We have 95 and 895. This is where drivers are being directed. If you're coming from the north right here, the 695-95 interchange, that's where you want to get off of 695, get on 95 to make your way around. But it's going to be a headache. It's going to be a tough driving down there around Baltimore for the foreseeable future. Of course, right now, as Jackie said, everybody mostly focusing on those search and rescue efforts.
And this is something we're going to keep an eye on because we dealt with it during the morning commute. A lot of people knew what was going on. Obviously, we're getting into the afternoon commute in a short time too. So this is just going to be aware if you travel down to Baltimore for work, you're going to want to make sure you have all of those available resources ready to be able to find a different way home.
And not just Baltimore, Jackie. We're talking down to Washington, D.C. If people are coming up, maybe they're traveling from Philadelphia down south. The 95 corridor, of course, right here, while it's not directly a part of 95, 695 is a lot of a road that a lot of people take to get around the city, and that bridge, a major part of it. Obviously, we're going to be following this throughout the day. We're going to be following it tomorrow morning. And as always, you could stay with us online at fox43.com.